Hello there guys, and what's going on? It's Cup Tie Faction for you tonight as the quarter-finals of the Carabao Cup come into their own now. We're away at Southampton, another tough away test for us, and we're going for a place in the semi-finals, which would be, if we were to get through, would be due to play on in January. So this was an important game, final game of the month. Can we get through to the semi-finals at St Mary's? Let's see if we can repeat the league victory. Let's find out. Well, here we are back at St Mary's, where we were 2 weeks ago when Burnley won 2-1 in that game. Can they repeat that victory in the Carabao Cup quarter-final? Southampton, well, Alex McCarthy starts as opposed to Stuart Taylor. Hojbjerg and Long amongst the substitutes. Gabbiadini keeps his place. Tadic, who scored against Burnley in that game, keeps his place along with Cuadrado and Buffal. James Ward-Prowse also gets a start as well. And Virgil van Dijk. Payet keeps his place at left back or right back. As for Burnley, it's heated to goal. The same back four really. Lennon, Corp, Defoe and Schürrle. It's the same team really that has played in quite a few games. And John Stutty really keeping this team really consistent at the moment and making sure there's continuity as well as consistency in the Burnley 11 at this moment in time. No places of course for Robbie Brady of course on the bench. So we're all set to go then. Burnley in the lighter shirts to get us away. Southampton need, I tell you, in red and white. And again you go at St Mary's for these two teams. Twice now in the last 2 weeks. They've collided in both Premier League and Carabao Cup. This is the Carabao Cup tonight. And here's an early touch with Defoe. Defoe now might shoot here with a right foot. He does, and just wide. That was a terrific effort. And now we're having a super start for Burnley in this League Cup quarter-final. Smashing shot this. Goalkeeper McCarthy was getting nowhere near it and he just shaved the outside of the post. Gabbiadini deflected behind for the corner. Burnley just getting back there to bravely block the situation. Ward-Prowse to take it. Goalkeeper decided to fist it away this time. Cuadrado will headed the ball back towards Buffal. Now Burnley will have a breakout with Ward, but they've rather messed that up a bit, Burnley. One has to say. Ward-Prowse to Tadic, back to Ward-Prowse again. Gabbiadini. Southampton keeping the ball really well at the moment, and this could be a problem here for Burnley. Tadic waited in there towards Cuadrado, gets his shot in and just shaves the crossbar. Quarter of an hour gone. Southampton created the early opportunity, their first opportunity of the match, and Cuadrado just shaving the crossbar this time. Tadic, oh good ball, danger here. Cuadrado 1-0, and Burnley are in trouble in this Carabao Cup quarter-final. Cuadrado has been a little bit of a friend in this opening 24 minutes that we've been playing here in this quarter-final down here on the south coast. Has just scored a crucial goal here against Burnley. Tom Heaton, hands on hips, can do little about it. Burnley really didn't get it away properly, I don't think, and Cuadrado with his faithful right foot stuck it beyond the despairing reach of Tom Heaton, who tried to get back but he just couldn't do anything about it. And Burnley find themselves a goal down. Well, the Saints supporters are happy, and Juan Cuadrado makes it 1-0. Lennon. Burnley looking to hit back straight away through Wood, but he couldn't get his way through. Trippier now to Cork. Ward. In towards Schürrle. Andre Schürrle! Good save, and the man who got the first goal in the 2-1 win in the Premier League almost repeated the trick here. Hitting it with the toe poke of his right foot and finding Alex McCarthy in very good form, but it is a corner. Half an hour gone. In towards the back post, and the header straight into the arms of McCarthy this time. Always tough to gauge how this cup tie will go anyway. Here's Schürrle. Schürrle repeats the feat. He did in the league. He scores against Southampton again. Twice in 2 weeks. The Southampton fans must be sick of this man. Schürrle through the middle and smashes it in at the near post of McCarthy, who will be absolutely furious with himself. He didn't make a better attempt to save it. But even so, it's in the back of the net. 1-1. And Alisson Scherer, well, isn't he pleased? His punch. 1-1 with 10 minutes to go to the break. Well, Scherer, who scored in the league game 2 weeks ago, repeats the trick and gets Burnley out of a really difficult situation here at St Mary's. And one has to say, they fought back well. Ward to Cork. Good running by Cork. Looking for options. He's got the goal scorer there with him. Scherer. Oh, what a good play. Hurdle players cross to everyone. Defoe deflected. And Ings scores. Danny Ings has done it again. 2-1 to Burnley. And Danny Ings is the hero. But credit to Scherer, that man again. How he got away from Jeremy Payet's challenge. He handled it really well. Got the crossing. The 4th shot was blocked. But it came lovely and invitingly for Ings. Headed it into the 4. And it bounced up enough to get it over McCarthy. And it trickles into the back of the net. And after 39 minutes, Danny Ings makes it 2-1. Cork in the second half for Burnley. To Scherer. The 4. Back to Scherer once again. Lovely football here for Burnley. And Chris Wood's away. So to his Ings. Oh, he's hit it over. Hit it over. That was the big opportunity. Ings clean through. Smashes the right foot through the ball. Laced it, but laced it over the bar. Tadic. Ward-Prowse. Shook off a couple of opponents well. Finds Gabbiadini. Ward was there first. There's a player down injured for Southampton, but he's back up on his feet mercifully. Payet to Cuadrado. Still going. Ward-Prowse. Dangerous looking cross, deflected, and it deflected the right side of the post from Burnley's point of view. That was behind for a corner. Meanwhile, Trippier for an earlier challenge. I didn't see it, but there was a Southampton player down. It must have been for a late challenge. I must admit, I didn't see the challenge. Oh yes, it was late on Tadic. He was the player down, and I think the referee was right to do so. Good spot for the referee. Meanwhile, Hoybier will come off to be replaced by James Ward-Prowse, and Robbie Brady will replace Aaron Lennon now. Dusan Tadic with the corner. 2-1 to Burnley still as that corner comes in. And headed wide by Virgil van Dijk. In fact, he deflected wide. Jeff Emerick, in fact, he did go wide for Van Dijk, and Jeff Emerick will be replacing Stephen Defoe. And he will get a 15-minute cameo potentially at the end of this Carabao Cup quarter-final. Burnley just 9 minutes away from a semi-final berth. First time though we've been in the semi-finals if they do make it since 2009. Here's Buffon for 2-2. Good save by Tom Eaton. And that could be the save that wins Burnley the tie. Here's Redmond. Van Dijk. Romeo. Still Romeo. Oh, give it away. And Burnley survive. Cork to Ward. He's onside. This would really wrap it up. It's Chris Ward for Burnley. Off the post. The goalkeeper in fact made the save. McCarthy got a leg on that and flicked it onto the post. Here's Wood. He was coming back from an offside position and the flag up for offside. It was a really good save as we look at the replay of Wood at least 3 yards offside, but Wood initially got away, broke the offside trap. McCarthy got a leg on it, got a left leg on it, and it was enough to divert it onto the bottom of the post. And here's Ings now trying to make it even more absolute. And he's put it wide. In fact, he's hit the stanchion at the back of the goal. And not the back of the net, what he was entitled, which he was aiming to do. Well, sometimes things can conspire against you. Here's Wood. Still Wood. Wood shot, deflected away. We've got seconds remaining practically of the match now. As Chris Wood's shot deflects away for a corner off Moreno. Otherwise giving it the fist bumps. He's seen a 2-1 down. And time has rapidly run out on them. Practically, there's the corner. And and the header was wide. But there it is. The final whistle has sounded in amongst all that. And Burnley have reached for the first time since 2009. 8 years they've had to wait for the moment to put that semi-final loss robbery to Tottenham out of their heads. They now go through to a 2-legged semi-final in early January. Kudwada put Southampton in front, but back came Burnley later on in that half through goals from Schürrle again and Danny Ings, and Burnley are through to the semi-finals of the Carabao Cup. 2-1 they've won. And in the other games, Norwich 1, Reading 2, Southampton 1, Burnley 2. In fact, all away teams have won because Leicester are out, beaten 2-1 by Watford, and West Brom 0, Crystal Palace 1. So we've got a really good semi-final lineup of Reading, Burnley, Crystal Palace and Watford. So let's quickly have a look at the draw for the League Cup semi-finals, which are to be played in early January. And they will, well, we'll find out in just a minute as we look at those results. Still can't believe that none of the big, massive teams are left in it now. Here's the semi-final draw. Watford take on Crystal Palace over 2 legs, and they'll play at Vicarage Road in the first leg. Burnley will play Reading at Turf Moor in the first leg, with the return legs to be played on the 23rd and 24th. So Watford Palace play on the 9th, the first leg, and Burnley and Reading play on the 10th. And then the return legs, Palace on the 23rd and Reading Burnley on the 24th. But that's it from this particular episode of Career Mode. It's December for us, start of December next week, and a game, another trip away from home, this time to the KP Stadium, the King Power, as we rejected over for Villa, but we go to the KP Stadium. Of course, Steve Marty was offered for £1 million earlier on, but we go to the KP, start December off with an away trip to Leicester. Hope you can join us for then, but we're through to the League Cup semi-finals. But from me, JB, until Leicester away next time, it's goodbye for now.